welcome. I am Nicole Arrington coming to you from Helena, Montana with Big Sky Cards. And today I have a fun card to show you using, I have used the Brilliant Wings dies along with the layering circle dies. And then we're going to make kind of basically 3 of the same card because I wanted to show you some techniques of things you might have to be able to work to make pennants. Okay, we're going to do a pennant technique of things that you possibly have already in your arsenal, so to speak. It exists because you've got a craft room and it's full of stuff. Okay. Currently Stampin' Up sells a Pick a Pennant punch. And it's not something I have purchased, although I'm kind of going, why don't I own this item? And the reason I don't own this item is the only time I would be using Pick a Pennant is when I make videos. Okay? Because I want to make sure I am using something current. But it also, in my arsenal that Stampin' Up made, we have this. It was a hexagon punch, and it makes a beautiful pennant punch. And so we're going to make this card using Coastal Cabana. So I'm going to grab my little Coastal Cabana pieces. I'm going to grab everything that I need. Okay, boom, boom. And I probably will save the stamping for last. So we'll just do the initial setup. Okay, and so I could use this hexagon punch, and it's one of my favorites to use, and go like that. And I will do that to all 3. And on top of this, when you're doing some of this, you can go like that. You can do 2 at once. Same with my Designer Series paper. This comes from Pattern Party. Pattern Party, yes. And I think I can do all 3 of these at one time. Alright, and I can just stick them in like so, center them up, line them up. Oop, see, and I don't quite like that. So I'm just going to keep them, hold, look at it, go a little bit more that way. And there we go. Okay, and the reason I'm doing it all in one, we're going to do 3 at once, is because I want everything to line up. So, like so. Alright, so I'll go ahead and get my glue out and set my card up like so. Just glue each one up. Fingers are dry. And oh my goodness, let me tell you the dimensions of them. So the Pattern Party is 3/4 of an inch by 3 inches. Therefore, my my solid cardstock, so this one, the Coastal Cabana, is 1 inch by 3 1/4 inches. So here is something just great to use up some of those scraps you just have sitting around. Oops. Alright, so I'm going to start probably about here, and I'm going to do 3 pennants alternating on the way down. And I'm going to do my center one last, so that I can line it up correctly so that I'm equally spaced either direction. Like so. Okay? So I'm just going to set that aside. We will come back to those items here in a moment. Alright. You don't have one of these hexagon punches? Don't worry, I've got another option. Okay. Also during this time frame, Stampin' Up! Had this punch. It was called Triple Banner Punch. Okay? And it only goes up to an inch and then goes larger than the inch. And so I like this one as well. I like this one a lot. But my recommendation for this is just to look to the underside sometimes so that you know what you're doing. Okay, sometimes it just doesn't look right. And this one, I only want to chop off just the tip end. So that's why I am definitely looking under, watching the line up. Even though it should line up directly in my thing, I don't want to cut off that much. Okay, and it works here. Okay, so even though I don't have a 1 inch or 3/4 of an inch line up, like pick a pennant would, I can look here and kind of line it up, centered up under here. So like that. Actually, the black and white might be easier for me. Okay, and I will go through and do all three at the same time. Let's see. Okay. I always hated making pennants, so this is why I do this. Oops, this one didn't go quite. Excuse me. All right, so that you have the triple banner punch, it might be in your arsenal. Doesn't mean you have to go out and buy something else. Okay, and you can use them. Again, I will go ahead and set this up so we can. Ooh. Uh-oh. Oh, that was my piece of Mango Melody. That was the wrong size. I can see my other one right over here. So I will just come back and snip that up. Okay, but here what is important is consistently sticking with whatever you're working with, okay, for the whole card. Because otherwise, if I went from the hexagon punch to that triple banner punch, what I am going to find is that things do not line up. My pennants will not look the same, and they will look weird and wonky. Okay, so if I had used this pennant on this one, so you can see they just have just a slightly different shape. And because of that, you aren't going to like that. So don't mix and match. You can see all these, but don't mix and match with your solid and your DSP portion. Okay. Also in your arsenal, you might have a square. Stampin' Up! A long time ago did have square punches, or there were like photo corners, and I have used those. I no longer have those items because I was just going, oh, I'm holding on to these. I no longer make a card with them, so I finally did get rid of them because I was just overloaded with so much stuff. So I did finally get rid of them. They are no longer in my arsenal. So, but if you do have those, you can use them. So I would have shown you a card using that, except I no longer have one of those. But that is another something. You can use a square punch to help you make these pennants. Okay? And our last tool. So let me set that aside. Our last tool will be to do it by hand. Do it with a pair of scissors. Okay? And let's talk about some things we want to do. So we're going to cut up right up the center. And then we're going to just cut from each side to the center, like so. Now, we're only going to cut these ones up to the center for right now. I am actually going to glue these onto my solid colored cardstock before I cut the next set of pennants. So, I mean, this isn't bad. I just got frustrated doing this. And I kept that hexagon punch for a reason. I really like hexagon pennants. Okay? I may not use the hexagon for anything but that, but there you have it. Okay. So here's the thing about these, is you do want to glue these on to your solid color before you go and cut your pennant. That way, because when we make hand pennants, and you could do it with the other ones too, but definitely when we make hand pennants, we are way, way different. Okay? They are not consistent. I mean, that's the beauty of a punch. It's always consistently the same. Okay, and it takes a little bit less time, but this isn't too bad. Okay, and the other thing to please note is that even though I should have about the same, this top portion, as I was noticing on all the others, is much closer to here. I don't have as much of a gap as I do on these sides. It's about half as much. So here, that's a little wonky. There we go. So here, I'm going to cut from here onwards up so that it kind of matches here and here, so that I can kind of eyeball a parallel line up with my card. Okay, so this way my centers match up and I can parallel that cardstock there. And that's an important thing, is to be able to parallel that so you aren't frustrated with how yours looks. Okay. Because yes, you're eyeballing it, but again, you want to do everything in your power to eyeball it as best you can. Alright, so now I can do the layout on this one. I'll go ahead and set up the layout. So now the question you should be asking me is, how do I make this into a cool card after I got these layouts? And all this pennants. I don't know. That sounds weird, pennantine. Alright, so either way, what I am going to do is I'm going to take this and I am going to use some stamps, and I forgot to grab the stamps I'm going to want to use, so we're just getting some. That I think I might want to use. All right. Let's see. Alright, so my first one I'm going to use Finding a Friend is the Best Discovery of All. Okay, and I will stamp that in Granny Apple Green and set that aside. Okay, and that one comes from the Happy Hedgehogs. The next one I'm going to use is a Happy Birthday from the Sentimental Swirls. And I will do that in Coastal Cabana. This is one of those $1 million stamps. They did great. I love how we have that. And it coordinates with multiple stamps. Or multiple of our punches. The stamps coordinate with multiple of our punches. So we have that. And then last, in Mango Melody, let's see. I think a lot of these are a little bit too big. Could use Just Because. Could use Wishing You the Best Year Yet. I think that's what I'll do. So I will use Wishing You the Best Year Yet. Does that fit? That fits well enough. I will do it. Okay. We'll just do that again. I didn't like it. All right, that's better. Okay. Set all those aside. We're going to go in and glue these all on. So they're coordinating one. And I'm just going to leave a sliver hanging off. That's what I'm looking for, and that's what I'm doing. Okay, like so. And then I can come and plant these in the middle of the card, in the middle of my pennants, right there. How do you like this? And this is how to make a lot of cards fast. Okay, and these circles are coming from the layering circle dies. And then, like that. Then I've got a butterfly on each with a little bit of the Pattern Party DSP. We go. I was going to put a couple little flowers down there, but no, we're going to do this. I'm still going to do the flowers. I decided. Okay. So while this video was a little bit long, it's showing you some techniques, and you can see having this information. We did do 3 cards. Whoop. All right. So right there. Then the next thing, oops, I grabbed the wrong colors. But the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to punch some little flowers in each of the colors. And I didn't grab quite enough Granny Apple Green because I thought I was going to be able to squeeze one out up there. It doesn't look like I can quite squeeze it out. All right. So I got that. I've got that. I need a touch more Granny Apple and some Coastal. Wherever my Coastal went. Somehow I got my wires crossed and grabbed Bermuda. Here's some Coastal. One, two, three. And then I need one more Granny. Scrap a Granny. Okay, so to finish these cards off, and I'm just taking the flower punch from the strawberry punches. I'm pretty sure I said that, but you never know with me. Okay, so I'm just going to take each one of these and I'm just going to fold their little petals in like so. Like that, like that. So I have found, I don't know about you guys, but when I'm making like a whole bunch of the same card, and this actually might be one of my card exchanges and everybody just gets a different color, I find that it goes a lot quicker and smoother if I do everything all one task at the same time. So I would do all my punching up these flowers at one time, all my die cutting all at one time, etc., rather than trying to do one piece at a time. Okay, and I'm folding each one of these, and I'm just using my nail. Right now my nails are long, but they're usually not, and little nails are just fine. Okay, they work just as well. Okay, and each one of these I am just going to put my little flowers in kind of a triangle. Like so. And don't you worry, I do not like how they look either, and we're going to fix that. Okay, we'll put centers on those flowers. Okay, like so. All right, to finish them off, I need my little pack of centers. Okay, I'm going to take the metallic pearls, and I take a pick tool, and I'm going to take and put the little silver metallic pearls on the inside of each one of these. Of course I did that. There we go. And it might be that I just need to squeeze a little bit of my stuff off and back it off to finish each one of these off. Okay, and whether or not you can tell that it makes a difference here on the at home, for me, it makes a huge difference. Huge. I mean, it just went from going, oh, that's kind of okay, to, oh, yeah, that makes a card. So sometimes finishing those little touches with either like rhinestones or pearls or whatever you can get your hands on can make a huge difference. And I have just taken one of those Stampin' Up cases and I've put all my gemstones and such in a case. And actually I've got so many I got a second case, but shh, we won't talk about those. Alright, moving stuff out of the way so that you guys can take a look at these. Okay, each one of those have come out just beautiful. And so as see my light there, it's washing that out. Now it's in my eyeballs, but we still kind of need it. Oh, maybe I need that one on too. But there you go. You 3 cards using all the same things with 3 different tones, and you can choose which one you want, so to speak. I would like to thank you so much for watching this video. If you would like any of the items I have demonstrated here today, you can shop my online store. That link is provided below. If you have any questions, you can put that in the comment section here, and or else you can email me at bigskycardsnicole.com. That is provided below. I would greatly appreciate thumbs up. You have no idea. It makes me excited to see those. Along with, if you have any comments, those just make my days when you talk about a card. So please feel free to leave those comments. I do read them and I will get back to you. And on top of this, you can go to my website, bigskycards.com, where you could purchase this as a card kit. And you would get to pick the color. What color backing do you want? And everything will come to you. It'll come as a set of 4. You will get to make 4 of Coastal Cabana. And everything will come. It'll be cut. It'll be die cut. It'll be punched. It'll be stamped. It will be, I don't know what else to add. And you can change that sentiment. So if you wanted Coastal Cabana with wishing you the best year yet, we can do that. And all you need to do, and I mean, I even send the pearls. I mean, that's huge. And all you need is liquid glue to help you make these cards. So, thank you so much for watching. Happy crafting. Bye.